This
So
conference will now be recorded.
every data type, it may have some kind of operations. For that one, it may providing some kind of functionalities, right? Those things I'm explaining for this particular classes. Okay, like the in-depth information about the data types, like what are the data types we have, it like string, list,
Yeah,
tuple, set, and
yeah, yeah,
dictionary.
yeah, yeah.
There are 5 data types which are advanced data types in Python. Those things we are talking for this particular classes. Okay,
Okay,
so
so
in my
mutable, immutable data types and all. Yeah.
absolutely correct, absolutely correct, you're on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think you're not missed anything, so we are on the track itself. So meanwhile, if you
Okay.
wanted some of my existing class videos also, I can provide you. Okay.
Yeah, I already have the Jupyter installed,
Okay.
and yeah. So learning like
Mm-hmm.
by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, please meet your sister. Yep. So Jay and Vamshi, hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing
Good,
good.
how are you?
No, Vamshi, yes. So we started the yesterday class. I explained list data type, right? Now, today
Yes.
I would like to talk about the tuple data type. Okay. Okay. So we are talking about the Python tuple data type. So Ganesh, what is a tuple data type? Ganesh. Hello, Ganesh. Can you hear me or not?
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me? Now we are going to talking about tuple data type. So tuple means we are holding the data in a parenthesis, right? For example, if we have a variable, it can be hold the data in a parenthesis. So the data, it can be anything, like integers we can hold inside of the tuple. And meanwhile, if you want to be hold the float type of data, and if you want to be hold the complex type of data inside of the tuple, that we will do it. Meanwhile, if you want to be hold the some boolean type of data, and moreover we can hold the none type of data also. So when we are holding somewhat dissimilar type of elements, so that we are calling it say dissimilar data type. Okay, so here this is the tuple data type. This is the tuple, which means when you are holding some what elements in parentheses, that we are calling it say tuple. Clear? I think I explained tuple in a previous class. So let me check if I'm explaining, then we can stop. No, we are not done. So yes, tuple means, so we are holding the data in parenthesis, that we are calling it a tuple. So as of now, we hold only integer to none type only. If I'm trying to be holding the string inside of the, if I try to hold the string inside of the tuple, that we will do it. For example, inside of the tuple, if I try to hold the list, that is also we will do it. And inside of the tuple, if I try to hold the tuple, that also we will do it. And if you want to be hold the set inside of the set, means curly braces, when you're holding the data in a curly braces, that we are calling it say set data type. And dictionary means we are holding somewhat records in a curly braces, that we are calling it same dictionary data type. So when we are holding string, list, tuple, and set and dictionary, so the tuple, it can be supported, so that we are not getting any kind of error. Okay, so we can hold the any type of data in parenthesis, that we are calling it say tuple data type. Okay, now, so when the tuple, if you're holding, so the tuple which is having the position, each and every tuple element, it may have the position number, right? So that we are calling it same tuple indexing. So what is the use of the tuple indexing? So tuple indexing will help you to access the elements from the tuple. Okay, if you want to access the single element from tuple data or variable, so for that one we can use the index, tuple index. So here I have a data. So the data is, for example, 3, 9, 10, and 34, and 10, 1, 11, or so 35 and 67, something like this. Okay, when we are holding the data, when we are holding this type of data, okay, when we are holding some multiple elements inside of the tuple, so I just want to be access the elements from the tuple. For that one, we have a indexing. In Python programming language, indexing is starting with a 0. So a of 0 means which is accessing the element of the first one, which is the 3. If I try to do that, a of 1, which means we are going to be accessing the, okay, so second element. If I try to do that, a of 2, then which is accessing the third element, the third element is 9. And if I do that, a of 4, a of 3, then which means that we're going to be accessing the 34. And if I do that, a of 4, which means we're going to be accessing the 11. This is the way you can able to go for access the elements from the elements from the tuple. Okay, so this is fine. We are using the positive elements. For with help of the positive elements we can access. Okay, now I just want to do it with the negative elements. Negative elements means, so if I'm doing the a of -1, which means which is accessing the last one. So what is the last one here? It's a 67, right? So 67 we can access. A of -2 means, a of -2 means what? A of -2 means it's a 34, second last element. So a of -3 means third last element, which is the 11. Okay, and a of -4 means, so which is 34 again. So from the right to left we can access with help of the negative elements. So tuple, it can be supporting the negative tuple indexing. Negative indexing. Negative indexing in the sense we are going to be using the negative numbers for accessing the elements from the tuple. So positive element, if I am using the positive elements, then we can say that it's a positive indexing. With help of the positive numbers we can access the elements, then that we are calling it a positive indexing. Is it clear, or any other question is there here? Sumit, Vamshi, Jay and Kishore, is there any question here?
Clear, Anchan. No question.
Okay, now we are talking about the tuple slicing. What is mean that tuple slicing?
Sir,
Yes,
I have a small doubt.
yes, tell me.
So I don't know the position of the element. How I can know the? I want to know the position of the element. How I can do?
Okay, let's
What?
we can discuss these things, once I done these things. Okay, like just try to understand here. So if we don't know the position, we can't access the elements. Okay, so make sure, for example, 34 in the sun, we should know the position of element, then we can access this one. Okay, as of now, but just here I'm trying to explaining the each and every element, it is allocated some position. That's what I'm trying to tell you. What is the use of that position? We can access the elements. Okay, if you don't know the position, how we can access and that is a different question again. So my question is here, each and every element, it is having the position. So what position, for one specific position, what element is there? If I want to know it, then we can use the position, this indexes. You got it, you got my point? So each and every element, it is having its own positions. Okay, so I want to know the element of one specific position. For that one, this concept I am trying to be explaining. Okay, so if you don't know the position in the sense, so for example, we try to do it dir of tuple, dir of a tuple. Okay, see, this is the tuple, it's having index method. Okay, so what is the use of index method? It can help you to find the position number. So I was not explained as of now, but for finding the position of element also we will do it. But for that one, we have an index function is there. Okay, for example, so I want to know the index value of the 34. So simply we can use the a dot index. A dot index of 34, it was returning the 2. Clear? So here the 2 is the position of 34. Kishore, now is the doubt is clear or not?
Yes,
So we
sir.
have a function, the name of the function is index. With help of the index, we will know the position of the element. Okay. If you want to know the position of the element, we can use the index. And if you want to know the element of the any one of the specific position, then we can use the index. I mean, with help of the index positions, we can access the elements.
Okay, sir.
So this examples, this index numbers are help you to access the elements with position numbers. But this one, index is the function. It can help you. If you want to know the index value of the any one of the number, for that one we can use the index function. Clear? Yep, that is a small
Yes.
difference
Yes.
there. I hope you clear this point. And now let's talk about the tuple slicing. So tuple slicing in the sense, guys, are you following my point or not? Kishore, Jai, and
Yes, sir.
Sumit, Vamshi, and Ganesh, I hope you guys are following. So tuple slicing in the sense, from the tuple, you have a tuple, it might having some kind of elements. From tuple, we can access some continuous tuple of elements. Okay, we can access multiple elements. As a tuple. Okay, for example, so for that one we can use the syntax is a variable name, and here we have to mentioning the start index and colon the stop index. So here what will happening here, so it will accessing from the start index position to the stop -1 position. What are the elements are there, that all elements it can be accessing. For example, I have a tuple which is having the elements are 7 comma 3 comma 9 comma, okay, and 2 comma 4 comma 10 comma, and 8 comma, and 34 comma 22 comma, and 12 comma, and 25 comma. Okay, like this we have some elements are there, approximately 10 elements we have it. Okay, so here if I'm mentioning the a, you're going to be accessing the all elements, right? But I want to be access the some portion of elements, like, so this 4, 10, and 8, these are the 4 elements I want to be access. So if you want to access these 4 elements, you have to know the positions. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So 3 we should access, 4 you should access, 5 also you should access, 6 also you should access. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6 you want access. If you want access the 3, 4, 5, 6, then you should give you the 3 is my start index, and if you want access the 6th index position, then we just give you the 7 is your input for the stop. Okay, so this is the way you can able to access the 4, 10, 8, and 34. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is the use of the slicing method will do it. Now what I want to do now, if I forgot to mentioning I forgot to mention the start index. If I forgot to mention the start index, then which is starting with 0 by default, which is started with 0, it can be stopped at 6 actually. Okay, so 0 to 6, what are the elements we have it, that it will accessing all elements from the 0 to 6 positional elements continuously. So if I'm mentioning the start index but I'm not mentioning the stop index, till end of the tuple we can access. Okay, so here default start is 0, here the default stop is end. Okay, so to end of your tuple, what are the elements we have it, that we can access when we are giving the when you are not giving the stop index. Okay, this is the way we can able to access the elements from the continuous elements from the tuple. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we have a concept is tuple dicing. Tuple dicing in the sense, we can access the elements not continuously, stepwise elements. We can access stepwise elements from start index to stop minus index, stop minus one index. Okay, from start to stop minus index, every step element we can access. Okay, for that one we can have the syntax is variable, and we should mentioning the start, and you should mention the stop, and you should mention the step. Okay, start, stop, and step. See, from the start to stop, every step element we are going to be accessing. Let me consider same example. But this time I can increase some values over here, and so like we have multiple elements are there. Now what I want to do it, so I would like to go for accessing the from second positional element to, for example, 14 position element. Every fourth element I want access, which means from 2 to 13. Okay, from 2 to 13, every fourth element we are going to be accessing. Okay, every fourth element we are accessing. So after 2, what is the next position? Every fourth element, right? 2 plus 4, it will be 6. 6 plus 4, it would be 10. 10 plus 4, it's a 14. 14 is more than the 13, right? So that we are going to be stopping at 10 only. So the positions of 2, 6, 10, what are the elements we have it? Those elements only we are going to be accessing when I'm giving the dicing. I hope you clear my point. For example, I'm not mentioning the start index. I mention only stop index and step index. This time, which is started with a 0. So from 0 to, okay, so 14 is my stop, right? So that 14 minus 1, it's a 13. From 0 to 13, every fourth element we are going to be accessing, because of step is my 4. Okay, every fourth element. Every fourth element means what? Every fourth element in the sense 0, 0 plus 4, 4, 4 plus 4, 8, 8 plus 4, 12. 12 is, it's a less than or equal to 13, so that the positions of 0, 4 and 8, what are the elements we have it? It will accessing. 0 position, 4th position, 8th position, 12th position. What are the elements we have it? Those elements we are going to be accessing. Clear? Now, clear or not?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay. Now we mention the start index, but you're not mentioning the stop index. Okay, but step you mentioned. For example, step is 5. So I don't know how many number of elements we have it. For that one, I can have a function is length function. So for just to know it, how many number of elements are there, for that one, I'm using the length function here. So len of length, then it will be returns the total number of elements. So here I have total 18 elements are there. Okay, that means the last positional element is 17. Okay, so if you're not mentioning the 18, it can be considered the 17 is our last index. Okay, so that's the reason which is started with 0, okay, to 17, because of total 18 elements are there, so that the end will be, it says 18, 17. So from 0 to 17, every fifth element we are going to be accessing, every fifth element. So 2 plus 5, 2 plus 5 how much? 7. Yes or no? 7 plus 5, it's a 12. 12 plus 5 is a 17. The positions of 2, 7, 12 and 17, those are the elements we are going to be accessing from the tuple. I hope you clear my point. So unfortunately, if you're not mentioning the start index, sorry, step index, then it can consider default, it says 0, sorry, 1. So from 2 to 13, every element we are going to be accessing. Because of here, its step is 1, so that every first element, every continuous elements we are going to be accessing. Okay, so 2 plus 1 it's a 3, 3 plus 1 it's a 4, 4 plus 1 it's a every first element we are accessing, every next element we are going to be accessing. Next in the sense 1 in the sense next. Okay, so 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 1 5, 5 plus 1 6, like till 13 we can access. So this is the dicing, tuple dicing will work. Note this just note this example if you want, if you're writing in your notes. Done. Ganesh, Jai, Kishore, Prasad, Sumit and Vamshi. Okay, now let's talk about the, so if we have a tuple, maybe the tuple, it might be contains the tuple as a sub element. Okay, so the element is tuple only. So this time the main tuple A, how many elements we have it? Which just having only 2. For seeing it is a 6, but actually it's a 2 only, because of this sub tuple is a 1 element, this sub tuple is 1 element. Okay, so if you want to access these elements, this subtuple, then we can give you a of 0. Then if I'm giving the a of 1, then which is accessing the tuple number 1. Okay, so this is the way the tuples we can access. But my intention is, whatever the elements we have in subtuple, those elements also I want access. That means I want access the 23. Okay, I want access the 23. The 23 is the sub element of the subtuple, right? So here this is my subtuple of 1, a of 0. Inside of it, again the position which is starting with 0, this is 1. So if I'm giving the a of 0 and 1, then which is accessing the element 23. And if you want access the 5, okay, so this is entire tuple is 1, so a of 1. From that 1, this is the 0 position, this is 1 position, this is 2 position, a of 1 of 2. So this is the way you are going to be accessing the elements from the tuple, right? Subtuple elements also we can do it with help of the nested indexing. This kind of concept we are calling it, say, nested indexing. I hope you're clear. Can you please note this one? Okay. Now what I want to do, I just want to be modifying. I have a tuple, I want to be modified. Ganesh, is it possible to modify?
We can modify it.
It's a tuple. Tuple can't be modified. Okay, I want to
Yes.
be modify the one. I mean, the position of one is 2, so that I want to be. I want to replace 2 by 200. So if I try this one, it cannot be modified. So this kind of operation, and moreover, tuple is the immutable data type, so we can't be modified. Okay, immutable data type, which means we cannot modify the tuple data, but list data we can modify. That is the difference. And these are the operations are common. Now, for example, if we have a two tuples and I want to compare these two tuples in Python programming language, for that one we have the comparison operators are there, a equal to b. So if both elements are same, then it can be written as the true. But internally, when I'm using the equal to operator, we have a eq method. It can be invoked automatically so that we are getting output is true. Okay, when I'm using the equal operator internally, this is the method is invoking. So for example, if I'm using the less than or equal to, then here we have a method is le method can work. If I'm using the greater than or equal to, then g method can be work. Okay. If I'm using the not equal to, then any method can be work, not equal. Okay. And when we are using only less than operator, then we can have a method is lt method, it can be work. And when we are using the greater than operator, then we have a method is gt, the gt method can be invoke. Okay, so this is the way this kind of operation, when we are using this kind of operators, automatically these are the methods only, it can be invoke backend. In backend, these are the methods only, it can be invoke. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, for example, we have a two tuples. This time I just want to do it plus operator. What is mean that plus operator? So both tuples they are concatenated so that we are getting the 1 comma to 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 2 comma 3, 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay. For example, if this is the 4, then we are getting the 1 comma 2 comma 3 and 4 comma 2 comma 3. So that's a plus operator. Plus operator will do for addition. But what addition we are doing, which is not addition element wise, which is doing the, elements can be together as a new tuple. Now we have a method is multiplication. So for example, if you have one tuple, I want to be multiply with a one scalar, which means it's a multiplication mul method, it can be work, but we are doing the multiplication of scalar, right? So this 1 2 3 can be repeated 4 times. That is the use of the star operator. Okay, meanwhile we have a method is, and we have a tuple which is having some elements, and I want to know whether my element 34 is there or 51 is there or not. I want to know it. For example, 51 is my element. My b is available in a or not. For that one, we can use the in keyword. So b in a. When we are using the b in a, if the b is available in a, then it can be returns the true. So when we are using the in operator or in keyword, we have a method is contains method. A contains of b. If a is containing the b, then it can be returns the true. So even if I'm using the in operator, even if I'm using the contain method, we'll be doing the same thing, right? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now For example, yeah, for example, you have a tuple. So I want to be copy the all elements. Oh no, copy. So I want to show that what are the methods are there. Dir of tuple, then it can be returns the only few methods, only count and index. Only these are the two methods only we can operate on tuple. Because of tuple is immutable, we cannot modify, we cannot do any kind of manipulations. So for example, my 3 was repeated for example 5 times. Okay, my 3 is repeated and some number of times. I want to know how many times the 3 is repeated. For that one, we can have a function is a dot count. A dot count of, okay, 3. So 3, how many times which is repeated? If I want to know the count of 4, then we can use the a dot count of 4. Here 3 is repeated 6 times and 4 is repeated 2 times. So with help of the count method, we can know it how many times one particular element is repeated. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So what I think we already seen indexing. Index is the method. It can help you to know the location of the each and every element. So this kind of operations only we can do on tuple. Nothing more than that we are doing on tuple actually. Okay, only this kind of operations only we can perform on the tuple. I think we already seen the list and the string, right? We can try to understand the string, list and tuple by these 2 days. Okay, and the meanwhile, and whatever we discussed in a Python basic syntax, those things also we can try to understand. Okay, so in a Monday class, what we will do, we can try for try to go for understanding the set data type, try to go for understanding the dictionary data type. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay, that's for class Sumit, Vamshi and Jai and Kishore and Ganesh. On Monday we are going to talking about set and dictionary data type. The 2 data types we can finish it that specific day. Okay, because of both are very similar. Once it is completed, then we can start operator, then control statement, then functions, and then go modules and packages, exception handling, regular expression, other stuff. Okay, and
Okay, sure.
that's a Python. Okay, so after that one, for becoming a data scientist, we need to go for understanding the SQL also. As of course you said SQL, and you need to understand the R and at least one of the visualization tool like business intelligence tool like
Yeah,
Tableau,
the tab. Mm-hmm.
Tableau, and machine learning, deep learning, and
Mm-hmm.
statistics and data processing and AWS. Okay, cloud also we need to interact for that. Okay, so most of the time we are going to working on the cloud platforms only nowadays. So either Azure, either cloud, we need to understand. Okay, and if time consistent, then we can talk about big data concept as well. Okay,
Yes.
that's upcoming classes we are talking about, but this session is especially for Python. In the upcoming session we are talking about those all things again. Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
yep.
Good.
So we'll connect on Monday. Okay, bye, take care.
All right. Thanks.